Hello everybody, welcome to Dude with a Fork. My name is Ken. On today's episode of Ken Cook Stuff, we're making sloppy joes. And I know, you're thinking I already know how to make sloppy joes. You buy some ground beef, you get the can, you get the little packet, you fry things up, you mix it up, boom, you're done. But chances are you already have everything you already need to make sloppy joes in your kitchen without buying a packet or without buying a can. So let's get started and look at those ingredients. Alright, so to make homemade sloppy joes, obviously you need ground beef, and this is 1 pound. This is 80/20, I bought from Sam's Club. We're going to start by browning this, and we're going to add a 1/4 cup of diced green pepper and a 1/4 cup of minced onion. Then we're going to have 1/2 cup of ketchup, a 1/4 cup of steak sauce. Here we have a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, a tablespoon of brown sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder. We're also going to need a little bit of yellow mustard, and we need a teaspoon of this, so I'm just going to squirt some in and not measure it exactly. And this is totally optional, but if you want some additional beef flavor, you can add a teaspoon or so of beef base. So the first thing we need to do is get this ground beef browned up, so I will meet you over at the stove where we are doing exactly that. Okay, so we've browned off our ground beef, and you can see there's quite a bit of water that's come off it, and quite a bit of fat, and that is okay for right now. I'm just going to go in with our onion and green peppers, and I've been cooking this over medium-high heat. Oops. Alright, so I'm just going to stir these in. We're going to let these cook and get a little bit softened, and we'll be right back. Alright, so things have really progressed here. You can see a lot of that water from the bottom has just cooked away. And I'm starting to get just a little bit of a fond on here. Our onions are nice and translucent. Our green peppers are looking good. So I'm going to go in with the rest of our ingredients. And anytime I have something like this where I'm going to have a lot of liquid, and I'm also going to add some dry ingredients, I like to put the dry ingredients in first because I find that they mix in easier. If you add them on top of something that's wet, they tend to clump up a little bit. So there's our garlic powder and our brown sugar, and I'm just going to give these a quick stir just to make sure they're distributed. And that looks good, so I'm not going to have any little clumps of garlic powder. And I'm going to go in with our Worcestershire sauce and our steak sauce. And our ketchup. And I will go back later and scrape out what's left in these bowls because I don't like to waste anything. So I'm just going to give this a good stir. And oh yeah, one other thing I forgot. Well, 2 other things. 3 other things. We're going to go in with our, come on, mustard. We're almost at the bottom of this. So there's about a teaspoon. Going to go in with a teaspoon of our beef base. And the one thing I forgot to mention earlier is 3/4 of a cup of water. There we go. Alright, and you're going to say, wow, that seems like a lot of water. But the point of this is we want this to simmer really slowly. So I'm going to get all this mixed up, bring it back to a simmer. Alright, I can still see some of that mustard there. There we go. I'm going to bring this back to a simmer, and then just let it simmer very slowly on medium-low. And when I say medium-low, I mean like the low side of medium-low. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to turn this way down, and we're going to let this go for about half an hour. So I'll see you in half an hour. It's smelling amazing already. Okay, and this has been about 25 minutes worth of simmering, and you can see the sauce is tightened up. It'll sit on a bun. Our vegetables are cooked down, and I did say this would take 30 minutes, but usually that's an estimate, so I always try to give you the higher end of the estimate, because if I say something's going to take 20 minutes and it actually takes 35, and you're planning on this taking 20, and then you've got hungry people waiting around for 15 minutes. So if I say, it takes 30, but it actually ends up only taking you 20, nobody usually objects to getting dinner early. They just object to getting it late. So I have some buns. I'm going to get this on some buns, get them on a plate, and meet you at the table, and we'll try this out. All right. Well, would you look at that? Oh my gosh. And not so sloppy either. So this is actually a homemade bun recipe that I'm working on, and I'm not super happy with it just yet. When I figure it out, I will get that recipe for you. But you'll notice these are slider size buns. But anyway, but yeah, so it's it's looking good here. So we're just going to dig in here and try one. And try not to get, try not to be too sloppy, but it's going to happen. That is so good. And now I have to wash the tablecloth. Wow. It's everything. Oh, wow. It is everything you want in a sloppy joe. It's sweet, it's tangy, it's savory, and most importantly, it comes out of your refrigerator. Most of these ingredients, except for the brown sugar and the garlic powder. The nice thing is, oh my gosh, that's so good. The nice thing is, a couple of things. Number one, this will taste even better the next day. So if you do go somewhere and like ground beef is in bulk, is on sale, you can buy a bulk pack, make a bunch of this and freeze it. You need a quick supper, just pull a pound of it out and heat it up. Just grab some burger buns on your way home. The other part of it is that you can adjust this to your family's liking. So if they're like, oh, it's a little too tangy, you can just cut back on the amount of ketchup, because that's where a lot of that vinegary flavor comes from. If they say it's too sweet, you can add less brown sugar, or omit it entirely. Or if you want to make it a little different, sometimes instead of brown sugar, I'll actually use sweet relish in here, which changes things up a little bit. So you can also add more garlic powder if you like. You could throw in a little bit of chili powder. You can customize it to however your family likes it. But yeah, oh my gosh. Oh, these are so good. Like I said, they'll be better the next day. As you can see, they're nice and sloppy, so that's what you want. So thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
And that's it, folks. As always, thank you so much for watching. Links to free printable copies of any recipes here are down below in the show notes. Please like, comment, or if you'd like to see more of this kind of material, subscribe. As always, please stay safe, eat great food, and power to the proletariat. We'll see you next time.